Hello, Aubrey Arms here. You've probably seen a few messages from me lately indicating that I have something new happening, some big, exciting news. And in case you missed the live reveal, I wanted to send you a video message to tell you and share with you this exciting news. You probably know me as an executive coach or a women's executive coach, and that's where I've been building my business for the last 5 years. Well, I'm super excited to announce that I'm shifting my business focus and I've rebranded and I've relaunched my business into something a little bit differently. I was, again, this executive coach, and I found that I found myself kind of on the outside looking in. I wasn't having as much impact as I wanted. And I wanted to be more involved. I wanted to be involved in the business at more of a strategic level, but I also wanted to be more hands on. I wanted to be in the trenches. I wanted to roll up my sleeves and get in the trenches with my clients and with their teams to help them solve their biggest business problems and have greater impact. I fundamentally want to change how business was done. I was so tired of hearing about the horror stories of bad bosses and company cultures that were, in some cases, quite literally killing their employees. And I proclaimed how I wanted to eradicate toxicity out of company cultures. Now, this all happened right around my birthday, about a year and a half. Here it is, my birthday. I made my birthday wish. I'm like, I am here and I want to help eradicate toxicity out of company cultures. And I had this vision. I saw this vision of what my business, where my business wanted to go. Not even where I wanted to take it, but where my business wanted to go. But I was over here doing this executive coaching path, and I was like, well, how do I get over here and really transform company cultures and really elevate leadership and change how we communicate and how we engage with each other? Like, how do I get here to there? Well, literally the next day after my birthday, I received a phone call that put all the wheels in motion for me to be able to have this pivot and change tracks, if you will, on where my business was going. So that was a year and a half ago, and I've spent the last year and a half actually doing this work, being inside of businesses. And for one particular client, I served as her chief of staff for the last year and a half, and we did a total culture transformation, and we changed the business from the inside out. There was a whole plethora of things that I did with that. Executive coaching with her, coaching with her leadership team, being deployed out to solve some of the most challenging business problems that she simply didn't have the bandwidth to take on. And so I've spent the last year and a half doing this work, refining my processes, coming up with tons of trainings that I'm now taking out and sharing with the world. So there's three new focuses in my business that I want to share with you. Again, it's leadership. It is elevating leadership and changing the paradigm of leadership. And instead of having leaders come from the place of leading and managing by fear, it's really teaching them how to embrace their humanity and the humanity of their people, and really how to step into this place of compassionate accountability. The second element is communication. So changing how we communicate and how we engage with each other in the workplace. There are so many conversations that are critical that aren't being had, that need to be had. And when they are had, they need to be had in a way that is respectful and honoring. And that just isn't happening in so many businesses today. So that's part of what I'm doing. And then the final piece is really tending to the culture and cultivating a thriving company culture where everybody is free to do their best work and they are satisfied in that great work that they're doing. So this is much more involved, much more hands-on way of doing business that I personally am finding so much more satisfying because I'm having a bigger impact. So really it's this place of transforming business from the inside out and the way we engage, communicate, and lead with each other. So I want to share with you a little bit about who I'm working with. The clients that I choose to work with right now, they're the small to medium sized businesses. They're somewhere in that 20 employee range up to the 4,000 employee mark. Somewhere in that maybe $2 million to $20 million in revenue size. I find that the small to medium sized business segment is significantly underserved. They simply don't have the internal resources to build thriving company cultures. Heck, they don't even have business acumen sometimes. And so I love coming in and having such a massive impact in a positive way for these organizations. Most of these organizations, customer experience is going to be the heart of their business because quite frankly, the better the customer experience is, the more profitable the business is. This business might have experienced rapid growth or they're positioning themselves for that growth. And oftentimes you find those businesses that no matter how old they are, how long they've been in business, maybe they're still operating in kind of that startup mode. It's very organic. It's fly by the seat of their pants. And they're really elevating to that next business phase, bringing more business maturity. And so you need a higher level of leadership and quality of employee for that change to be able to grow in that direction. They might have new or inexperienced leadership teams. And most likely in this market, they're really stressed out about finding and keeping high quality, great employees. So just to paint you a picture of the kinds of businesses that I am working with now. I give you a little bit of an overview about how I'm serving them. So I have 4 primary ways that I'm working with businesses and serving them. And that is workshops and trainings, including corporate retreats. And so doing the company retreats. That's serving as that strategic partner as an outsourced chief of staff to come in and provide the executive coaching, the leadership coaching, and solving the business problems inside of that business. It's just straight up coaching. So whether that's individual one-on-one coaching with executives or emerging leaders or doing team coaching, that group coaching element, we're really moving an entire team together to solve problems and move forward. And the 4th way that I'm working with businesses is as a speaker to come in and speak on the topics of leadership, of feminine leadership, to motivate and inspire their teams to really step up to that next level, to be their greatest selves, and to treat each other with compassion and spaciousness so everybody can feel great and do their best work. I would love your support in a couple of different ways. One, I would just love to hear from you. If you're listening to this message and you're having resonance of like, yeah, this work really needs to be done in the world, I would love to hear from you. I've heard it from so many people so far, and they share these stories with me about, maybe a past experience that they've had in a toxic workplace, or they've got friends or family that are in toxic workplaces. And I don't know if you know this. This is mind-blowing to me. Toxic workplaces are now the 5th leading cause of death. The 5th leading cause of death are toxic workplaces. And it's just unnecessary. And so again, I'm on a mission to change how business is done, because we do not need to create businesses that are literally killing our employees, making them sick, making them miserable. That's not necessary. There is a better way to do it. So how you can support me is, one, just send me a note, send me a message saying, yes, this work is so important. Share your experiences, share your stories with me. Another way that you can support me is by, one, keeping me top of mind, in front of mind. So as you're going about your daily life, as you're having business conversations, please keep me and my work front of mind, so that when there's an opportunity, you can show me to introduce me to that person, or do that warm introduction, so that those leaders, they don't have to be miserable and frustrated anymore. The employees can get the leadership that they really need, and we can really elevate everyone to step into their greatness. So I'm always appreciative of, sharings of the work that I have, of having advocates and champions that believe in this work, that believe in the power of conscious leadership and how important it is that we give leaders tools and teach them the how to do the things that they need to do and how to be great. There's so much mediocrity out there. There's so many bad leaders out there. And I know that there's so many people that want to be great leaders. They just don't know how. They don't have the skill set. They don't have the tools. They haven't had anybody show them. So if you're in a position where you can connect me with business leaders or organizations that really need this kind of work, I would be very appreciative of that connection, of any sharing that you might do, to help me spread the word, help me spread the word of this mission I'm on to change the way business is done and really get out of this trend that we're seeing around toxic workplaces and the cost of disengaged employees. About 70% of the workforce, 70% of the workforce are disengaged, and that comes at a cost to the tune of about 450 to 550 billion dollars a year in lost productivity. So if you've got business acquaintances out there that they're really looking to maximize their revenues and they've got people issues, I love that connection because I can help. I can help make that shift and that transformation that they're looking for. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of my tribe, following my story, following my journey. Please go check out my brand new website. It's so beautiful. I'd love to hear what you think. Again, you can find that at awakenyourgreatness.guru. And if you haven't been following, I've had a new blog series come out in the last month or two. So go in there and check out the blog. It's very personal. Stories that I share around myself, around leadership, and just drawing some of the threads of life and leadership and love and the intersection of all of those things. So thanks for tuning in. I'm so honored to have you here, and I'm looking forward to the next time that we connect. Goodbye for now.